worked in the same sector before and after revolution. I remember before revolution, who are somehow marginalized will miss out in some of those programs. But now we've been given an opportunity to organize ourselves and serve our people with the resources that are coming from the national treasury. And those days, even the allocation of the projects. I remember in 2018 when I landed at the house, I was fortunate to have been put in the project implementation committee, and that's where I fought for the construction of the maternity we see in Moi County Referral Hospital. At the time we used to have a 12-bed maternity, and most of our mothers would share a bed. You can imagine a mother's delivered and is sharing a bed with another mother, maybe who's about to deliver. It was chaotic. So if I was not there, we wouldn't have received funds to construct that 32-bed capacity maternity unit in Moi. So you can imagine those counties which do not have any representatives or officers working in Afya House. So that is one dimension. Yes, it is important. But on the other hand, I can say it was hurriedly done. If it was done maybe in phases, or a portion of it, just the way they've done education, maybe primary health care would have been devolved. Yeah, we try with primary health care, or maybe from level 2 to level 4, and then maybe the level 5, 6 to remain in the national government. It could have worked better. So capacity, I think, is still an issue. So because of capacities, it should have been devolved maybe 50-50. We deal with primary health care, national government deals maybe with other levels of the health care. Thank you, Chair. Next question. The shortcomings. There are many. Chair. First of all, our health pillars are very, very weak. The 7 pillars of health, of our healthcare system, are weak. So I don't know whether you Chair, if you have time that I get into each of those 7 pillars, I try now to shed light how they are weak and how they need to be strengthened, or maybe to come later, maybe a question of challenges.
You just mentioned them because of it. We have only 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
Already taken a few minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Number 1 is the health products and technologies. Here, what I mean is the essential medicines and medical supplies. They are not adequate, and the supply is inconsistent to the human resource for health, HRH. Yes, we have gaps in terms of numbers and also skills. 3, health infrastructure. Health infrastructure refers to buildings and the medical equipment. We don't have adequate equipment, and sometimes we don't have even the requisite buildings where maybe even to install some of the equipment we need to steal them from donors. Right now, I've talked to a few rural health facility managers, and they're telling some they don't even have a simple equipment like a BP machine. Thermometers, some of them died, the people, after maybe 3-4 years, they die, so they need to be replaced. Replacement has not been happening. That is infrastructure. The other one is service delivery. There's systemic failures in terms of service delivery. Structures are not have been put in place properly. Or those ones who are there have been brought down, and nobody has bothered how to put the right structures so that we can have proper service delivery. The other area is on healthcare financing. Maybe I'll elaborate on that one because already there is an question of budgetary allocation under the Abuja declaration. That one I'll shelf it to the next question. So that is another pillar. Then the other pillar is on health information system. Health information system is key because we need, as we do our health records and information officers, as we do their work, they need to feed the information, the data, which is key for planning and also guidance, both at the county level and also at the national level. Because what we collect here gets into what we call the Kenya Health Information System, that we can, information which we can use here in the county, and the same time we can use at the national government to make planning. So what is happening at the peripheral facilities, health facilities, we don't have internet connectivity, so we are still using manual systems, we are still using, and sometimes we end up using some key data. And also, sometimes systems help us even to control maybe commodity management. It helps us in commodity management, health commodities management. So in the absence of this system, then we are losing a lot. Sometimes in terms of even the commodities we buy, we can't control because inventories are not controlled. So it is weak. That is a shortcoming which needs to be rectified. And I'm affected 7. I don't know anybody's, I think I've mentioned all of them. The last one, a new one, is research, which is key. Research, we need partners, and I've seen there are no efforts in the previous regimes, but I'm glad just the other day I saw His Excellency the Governor talking to Cambridge, so that now we can partner, so that we can have them helping us in the research area. Because there's things we need to do research so that we can resolve them, so that we can know, say for example in Bundani, why are non-communicable diseases so prevalent in Bundani? That is an issue or a question which could be answered through research. Mr. Chair, on the Abuja declaration and allocation of budgets, it's true sometimes in the early 90s, ministers of health from the African countries met in this city of Abuja, and one of the things they came up with is that when African countries are making their budgets, at least 15%, a minimum of 15% needs to be dedicated to the health sector. In Kenya, if I may start up and then it comes very quickly, in Kenya it has never happened. I think the best in the country that has happened is 8%. In our country we've been trying, sometimes 12, 13%, and this financial year I've looked at the budget, I've seen it's only 9%. So we are short of about 7% to reach what is required by the Abuja Declaration and other statutes that this country have signed up for. So the health budget, Mr. Chair, I can't say it's anything to sing home about. The health budget is small, and you said how do I go about it in the subsequent budgets? I think from the word go, because I'll be sitting in the cabinet where the resource envelope is shared. I think I'll really bring this one out strongly so that at least before the budget comes to this house, and I'll also maybe have a conversation with the budget chair in the house to make sure that whatever may be, I will have fought for it, it's approved at the cabinet level. When it comes to the house, it is retained so that because healthcare financing is key. All these other pillars I've talked about. Without proper funding, we can't move. We can't employ, we can't procure health products, and so many other things. So it is key that as a county, we need really, to prioritize and give the health sector the attention it deserves in terms of budgetary. I think that was all, Mr. Chair. I think I'm done.
The next set of questions will come from
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations from Waziri MKAYA for the nomination again to this same position as CECM Health Services. I have a question, but before I get there, I've gone through the certificates, the set of documents that you have got. I've met 5 persons in your certificate. If I may name the persons, I've met GIFTON MKAYA, GIFTON H MKAYA, I've met GIFTON Madeda MKAYA, I've met GIFTON M MKAYA, I've also met GIFTON Hafason MKAYA, and on the ID I've met GIFTON H MKAYA. So I'm not very certain who we are vetting here today. Of all these persons that I've come across in these certificates, could it be that you have collected these certificates from various sources and brought forward them to this house, or what will make us comfortable that we are vetting now? I don't know, is it GIFTON H MKAYA, GIFTON Madeda MKAYA? Who are we vetting here?
Will you go ahead to respond through the chair?
That one I appreciate that should be responded first.
According to my ID through the chair, my ID card, they abbreviated the middle name. The middle name is supposed to be Hafason. You know, I come from the Anglican background, where during my, when I was being baptized, I was being given 2 Christian names. So my Christian names are GIFTON Hafason. Now, when they were issuing an ID to me, somebody, the clerk there, just decided to abbreviate. I have an affidavit sent to that effect that GIFTON MKAYA, GIFTON MKAYA and GIFTON Hafason MKAYA are the same person, because the other documents which bear the name Hafason, and actually my passport bears the name GIFTON Hafason MKAYA. Now sometimes when we attend, some certificate there, we find when we attend some courses, we find, I don't know, they just write M, sometimes they write Hafason MKAYA, GIFTON, they keep on interchanging the names. Then Madeda is supposed to be my biological father, whom I didn't grow with. But when I was being enrolled at Egerton University, they insisted that I give them a surname. There I went with my ID, which bears my name, GIFTON MKAYA, my level certificates, GIFTON MKAYA. They insisted that I give them the name. So that's when I provided the name, and it went to the records of Egerton University. So Madeda is supposed to have been my biological father. Maybe I'll give a brief background. I think you're a little back. I told you I was brought up by my grandparents. What happened? My mother got me before she got married. So I was left under the custody of my grandparents. In the absence of that biological father, though I was made to know him because now somebody comes from the same village. So that Madeda is supposed to be my biological father. I don't know whether I've made the point clear. Chair to the chair. That's how the name Madeda came to be in that certificate.
At least we've gotten that clarification, because we are seeing a mix-up of names, and sometimes you just have to be careful, because that's why it's called vetting. We are just confirming. So, just a quick one. What's the relevance of your educational qualifications to the department which you are nominated? Relevance of your educational qualifications to the department for which you are nominated. Maybe you try to drive our mind from the thinking that a CEC of health must be a doctor, a medical doctor. Maybe take us through shortly.
Through the chair, that question I'm meeting for the second time during my first season was asked, and because the answer I always give is this: the position which I'm going to occupy is at managerial level, at policy level, and that level, my responsibility will not be at the service delivery. What I need to have at the back of my mind is how a healthcare system works, which from my work experience, I've been in the health sector, I've worked with the doctors, I've worked with the nurses, all these, over 21 health cadres. I know their psychology, I know how, they're supposed, to work, and I know that some of the even treatment protocols. So, having been an administrator, an administrator, for those who have done administration, coordinates. And in health, we have so many subsystems. You're supposed to have somebody who coordinates. And that's why in 1968, this cadre called Health Administration was born in Kenya. Because initially we used to have just doctors in hospitals without people who have done social sciences as administrators to coordinate the operations of the hospital. So this kind of our health administration came into being so that it can coordinate all these cadres. So I've been worked in that area, and I've been even gone to school to do some courses on health systems management and also health administration. I will be able, to coordinate the system from where I'll be sitting in the whole county. I will be able, to do policies because I understand what is required in the health sector, with the experience and the education background I have.
Thank you, Chair. Mheshimiwa MKAYA, we'll take a few questions from Honorable Kifuso.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Allow me to go straight to the question. The nominee pose the following questions, then you respond. Interest. Now, question 1. A huge focus in health has been in curative healthcare. Yet a bulk of our disease burden in Taita Taveta County is from preventive lifestyle diseases. What percentage of your health budget will you allocate to preventive healthcare, and how will you spend the budget and why? I've said a huge focus in health has been in the curative healthcare, yet a bulk of our disease burden in Taita Taveta County is from preventive lifestyle diseases. So, what percentage of your health budget will you allocate to preventive health care, and how will you spend the budget and why? Number 2, being that health is not fully developed structural issues affect the utilization of facility improvement fund, and what do you think are the remedies? Being that health is not fully devolved, what structural issues affect the utilization of facility improvement funds, and what do you think are the remedies?
Through the chair, may I request that you
I
take the question again?
Being that health is not fully devolved, what structural issues affect the utilization of facility improvement funds, and what do you think are the remedies? The other question: elaborate to the committee what a level 5 hospital is and state the biggest impediments in making Moi County Referral Hospital an actual level 5 hospital and not just in books. I repeat, elaborate to the committee what a level 5 hospital is and state the biggest impediments in making Moi County Referral Hospital an actual level 5 hospital and not just books. The last one. Gender-based violence in its many forms is a major public health concern. Gender-based violence in its many forms is a major public health concern. Highlight 2 sectoral and multi-sectoral approaches that you employ to handle GBV. I repeat, GBV in its many forms is a major public health concern. Highlight 2 sectoral and 2 multi-sectoral approaches that you deploy to handle GBV. Through the chair, I allow you to respond.
Through the chair, thank you, Honorable Kifuso. Question number 1 is on curative versus preventive and promotive health services. Yes, it's true. As they say, or as the old adage goes, preventive is better than cure. Yes, why is it better? Better because preventive is normally cheaper than trying to cure. When you are preventing, you use even less human resource, less effort, and you are like doing a risk mitigation before even the disease gets to the population. So at the end of it, you end up, using less resources. Now in our county, it's true, we've put more emphasis on curative because this is where our population will come to the health care workers. Because after somebody is sick, it's when we realize, yes, health issues are important. But when he is not sick, from the social dynamics of our people, you discover they don't care what goes around them. So, to go around this problem, which is more of a social issue, we need to put as a county, yes, if I'm appointed, or my appointment is approved by this committee, my take will be we need to put more emphasis on preventive and promotive healthcare, because in preventive and promotive healthcare, we do very little, interventions, and they go a very long way in sorting out of some of the problems there. For example, like here in Data sub-county, we have a major problem with diabetes, or this, let's say generally the non-curative, the non-communicable diseases, such as now the various cancers, diabetes, hypertension, and other cardiovascular diseases. And these are coming because some of our people's eating habits, or nutritional habits, are not right. So what we need to do, we need to give a lot of health education. So we need to empower our public health officers, our community health assistants, and even our community health volunteers to educate, of course, working together with the nutritionists, to educate our people on the working habits, giving health education. So health education will be a priority to me. And the other thing is about now things like now community-led total sanitation, things like hand washing. In some developed countries like Denmark, I visited that country, and they do several things in which they're joking, but they're serious, like hand washing, which is taught to the primary school children, because they believe when you teach a small child a technology or an intervention, when he or she gets home, should keep on the parents that they do what he or she has been taught in school. So hand washing to them is very key, and they have specialized nurses in that area who are doing that work, and they have offices in the primary schools where they teach these children good hygiene practices. So good hygiene practices. Use of latrines. We have to work around our homes so that we improve. When we did surveying around 2015, we were around 80% latrine coverage. So we need to move that to 100, because I don't see the reason why we shouldn't educate our people and make sure every home we have a latrine. So those are small things that will help us, and they are very cheap interventions that will help us now prevent some of these diseases, so that now we save on spending a lot of money on curative. So in terms of now budget allocation, I can't say now we'll start curative, because already our people are sick. So we need to keep on managing those who are sick. So I would say 80% should go to curative, because remember, we already have a sick population. The disease burden in terms of these NCDs, non-communicable diseases, in this country is huge. So let's 80% I think will be good enough, and then 20, right now, there's very little, attention being given to preventive and promotive healthcare services. So 20%, so that we'll have our public health officers, our public health technicians, our community health assistants, and our community health volunteers doing the preventive and the promotive side, so that we don't continue, escalating the disease burden, which will end up into curative side. So I think that's how, that will be my take on that question. And then the other question was on the FIF, that is Facility Improvement Fund. And I've been asked to look at some of the factors which are developing the program. If I may give a small background for what brought the existence of this FIF, and I'm glad in this county we've already passed a law. The FIF, the Taita County Facility Improvement Fund Act, that will allow our facilities to utilize the funds which are collected by the facility, be proud to improve our service delivery in our health facilities. It's a good thing because this thing began in 1989. When we began, after the structural adjustment programs, when we began the cost sharing in hospitals, it was found it would be wrong for the user fees or the cost sharing funds to be, taken to be appropriation in A. So a law was passed, a legislation, a legal notice was passed on 2nd December 1989 to allow facilities to be utilizing the funds they collect within the facilities where they collected so that they can improve the facilities so that they can give better services. Now, over the years, there were challenges, and those challenges will still be there as we operationalize the FIS program in our county. One of them is now the people who are working, some of them may not be very, trustworthy. So, according to the FIS laws which were there previously, no facility was allowed to collect and use the revenue at source. When you allow people to collect and use, the danger is they may misuse the funds. So what used to happen, and that's what I'm going to know, I'm told the act is there, but it has not been operationalized. I want, if this committee approves my nomination, I will come up with operational manuals and also supervision manuals to guide the managers. Managers will be supervising on how to do the supervision, and also the users, those people will be making use of this fund, how they're going now to operate this fund. This way, we'll be guided. They don't have our operational manual. All the facilities in our county, they'll be doing something which is very uniform, there'll be no variations. So in terms of supervision, it will be very easy. Even audit of these funds, the auditing of these funds will be very easy. So now, that is one of the lack of now, user manuals or operational manuals to guide the officers on how to utilize or to collect and utilize the funds. And so we find Hospital A are deciding to use these funds on doing maybe something different from Hospital B. Maybe more, they have their own priorities. Mwatate, the sub-county hospital, they have their own priorities. But I remember then, we used to have a manual which will guide us. These funds are supposed to be used in these areas. And these funds are supposed to be approved by so and so. Those days, we used to have the district health management boards which would approve our plans. And after they're approved, they'll go to the PMO, the Provincial Medical Officer of Health, who also approve and give us AIE. So I want the same structure to come, and this one we're going to embed in those manuals I'm talking about, so that we know when they collect the bank intact without spending a coin, the bank in a collection account, then this money, they will have no access to that account, and the only person will be who are authorized in terms of AIEs will be maybe the Chief Officer Finance, working closely with the Chief Officer Health, and also plans have to be done, which are going to be approved by the County Health Management Board. So nobody will touch these monies, because if there are no such structures, these monies, people will have a field day with these monies. So we are going to put those structures in place to ensure the facility improvement fund is guarded and it is used to the intention it's intended to. Now, question number 3, elaborate what level 5 is and why We can't make Moi County Referral Hospital a fully fledged level 5. Yes, when we talk of hospital levels, we are looking at the package of health services that facility can offer. Now, moving very quickly to level 5, in a level 5 we expect that hospital to offer almost all specialized services. So you should have all the specialized clinics. Like now, we need to have now, I'm happy now at this year, we are giving renal services or dialysis services. I'm happy now here, there's a eye unit, we are giving eye clinic services. So, in a level 5, all the required specialized services are supposed to be there. The requisite equipment, health infrastructure, to enable the specialists to offer those services have to be there. All the consultants, because we may have the infrastructure, we have, the equipment, but without the specialists, then we will not go anyhow. So all that. So in terms of human resource, we must have the requisite human resource, the health infrastructure, the requisite commodities have to be supplied on a timely basis and without being inconsistent. Because in the past, I remember when we began renal services in Moi, yes, the renal unit is there, but we had challenges having constant supply of the renal commodities. So all that has to be put in place for us to say yes, Moi County Referral Hospital is a level 5. So why is it making us as a county not convert or upgrade our Moi Hospital to a fully fledged county referral hospital? Simply it's funds. If we get enough funds, yes, then we put all what I've said in place, all the specialist clinics, all the special, medical specialists, all the commodities we need that the specialists will require to do their work, and then we'll be home and dry. Lastly, the question on GBV.
Yes, you almost finishing your time, but try to be a bit
faster
and be to go to the point.
Thank you, Chair, Mr. DAWIDA. Yes, GBV, yes indeed, that has been helpful because a victim on GBV, say for example, if it's sexual, violence, the first stop normally is the police station. The second, the police officers would send the victim to a facility. So, what I would say, and I'm glad I've gone through the Data Taveta Health Services Act 2021. We have exempted patients, the GBV survivors, from paying fees. So when they get there, they'll get all the treatment, like prophylaxis treatment, they'll get it free. If it's P3, it should be done free so that we be able to help mostly our girls, though even nowadays we are having boys even being sexually harassed. So I think that has been taken care of by our act. So it's a matter of operationalizing it, and I think we'll be okay as a county. Thank you, Chair.
The next set of questions, take them from Honorable Brown.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. MKAYA, congratulations on your nomination. Note down the following questions and respond through the chair. Question 1. Kindly elaborate to this committee what you will do to contain and manage the silent endemic that is mental health, especially knowing the statistics today. I repeat, kindly elaborate to this committee what you will do to contain and manage the silent endemic that is mental health, especially knowing the statistics today. Next question. Corruption has been rife in this health sector in our county. What are the corrupt practices in that sector and what mitigative measures will you take as CCM to curb corruption? And repeat, corruption has rife in this health sector in our county. What are the corrupt practices in the sector and what mitigative measures would you take as CCM to curb corruption? Third question. The county government has in the past implemented free treatment for people over 65 years. Would you adopt this knowing it's provided for in the Delta County Health Act, and how will you make it sustainable in terms of funding? The county government has in the past implemented free treatment for people over 65 years. Would you adopt this knowing it's provided for in the Delta County Health Act, and how will you make it sustainable in terms of funding? Last question, what is your net worth?
Through the chair, thank you, Honorable Anthony Mungambo. Okay, the question on mental health. Mental health is a big issue, as I rightly put it. The statistics are on the high, and majority of us are either affected or infected. And the first thing, I think we need to change the social perspectives or the beliefs around this disease condition. Mental illness is an illness just like any other illness that needs to be, managed in our health facilities. And so, you see, there is this social belief that if someone has a mental issue, people think is bewitched. So that means needs to be worked around, as we do now of public health or what we call health education. That should be within that. One of the individual should be within that package. Tell people, if you have if you have a relative, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter who has a mental issue, take that child or take that person to the hospital. Don't just throw him into the streets, go into the markets. If you had time, I would have elaborated, I had a brother who had that an issue, but it's because of the interest of time, I'm not going in that direction. So we need to tell people the truth about mental illness. The other thing, of course, already people are sick, so we need to manage. So right now we don't have a psychiatrist in the country, in the county. Yeah, psychiatrists are few, so we need to look how we're going to attract. So it is that's a challenge upon me, that we need to come up with a psychiatric unit in our county referral hospital and try to attract and employ a psychiatrist. Right now what is happening, we have psychiatrist nurses. Yes, those ones we have. Our level 4 hospitals, they have psychiatric nurses, and in what we have a clinical staff that specialize in that area, but we don't have a psychiatrist. So in most cases, these cases are referred to Coast General, which is sometimes very costly to our people. And for that reason, if I'm appointed, if my appointment is ratified by this committee, I think that is something I'll take upon, because I'm an affected person in that area. So it should be, entry and then make sure whatever is in that entry will be worked, so that at least we have some, and then we have to look at the risk factors and see how they're going to solve. Because the risk factors as a way of preventive. Yeah, issues of drugs and drug addiction, all of those things, they need to be worked from the preventive side. And as we speak, we have a rehabilitative center, which is at construction in Westwood Hospital. The rehabilitation of that, the building was done by MKAYA, partnership between MKAYA and the government. And when the building is complete, what we need is equipped so that I have a center where you can do some rehabilitative services. It can help maybe people who are suffering from this condition. So operationalization of that center again will be one of my agenda if I'm given this job. Number 3, corruption in the health sector. Yes, just like any sector in Kenya, I can't deny that there is no corruption in this sector. It is there, and mostly there are 2 areas which suffer because of this vice. Number 1 is the area of health products and technologies. Yes. And in the past, let me not beat about the bush. We've got people, we've disciplined people, officers, yes, healthcare workers, what in the act of health products. I can give a quick example. There's an officer, radiographer, X-ray field before we migrated from analog X-rays to digital X-rays. And that person was caught. What used to happen was now is in that department, they do orders for things are bought. Immediately they hit the radiology department. That night they will come back and pick everything. Because there was also a problem, what used to happen to the department and not in the main store, so that they can be issued in bits. So we realized that was a gap which we see later, and fortunately or unfortunately this officer sacked himself because this was what already had this was overwhelming, so he just decided to, but he was taken to court, he was open, Afuguro Mashtaka, then later on he paid some bond, he went home. While he was at home, he just decided to abscond duties and we dismissed that officer. Then the other area is on finances. Yes, as I say, as we bring this program, the FIF program, yes, finances, revenue, in terms of user fees, the one we collect in hospitals, could be another target of corruption. So, this one you have to put measures, like I have said, supervision has to be very strong. Rules and regulations that will guide this fund have to be very strong so that the fund is well protected. Then the other area is on procurement. Yes, procurement. We've had a conflict of interest. Yes, people, when they need procurement of some medical equipment or even medical commodities is happening, some people will tender, since there are sales officers who are procuring, there are people who are tendering. So when it comes to inspection and acceptance, they are there in that same committee. There are people who are again inspecting and accepting. So there you can see the role of an area of conflict. Because if the one is asking for the tender and the one is inspecting and accepting, there's no way I'll disqualify the goods which have come to the hospital. So that's an area of corruption. I could mention many, but in the interest of time, I think, let me look at the corrective measures. What I'd say, we have to put systems right. Procurement has to be streamlined in this department. As much as the Public Finance and Disposal Act recognizes hospitals as procurement entities, now we need to put the right people who are doing that job, professionals who are doing the job, and the appointments of the various committees within the procurement area has to be done right by the chief officer, and has to be controlled at some level, rather than a hospital being left to do everything by itself. And at the end of the day, we end up either ending with what we used to call air supplies. I don't know if they're still there. Some years we have air supplies, which I experienced when I was working in Butcher District Hospital. Yeah, it was really air supplies in Butcher District Hospital were really, and I almost lost my life because of trying to prevent that device at Butcher District. So there are many areas, but let me, in the interest of time, let me stop there. But as I've said, systems have to be put in place to combat these corruption issues within the health sector. Free treatment for our elderly population. Yes, these are entities within our population, and we need to have some sort of social protection, because at 65 you have maybe control, because our mandatory retirement age is 60. So you are either on your pension, sometimes that pension may not be enough. So we have challenges to meet your health needs, and at that time the immunity is very low. So chances these people, the over 65, will have a lot of health challenges. They need some sort of help, and that's why I'm happy that that law, this honorable house passed that law, and I'm sure through the chair asked that should I adopt it? Oh yes, I'll adopt it, because I know the challenges. I have been a victim of nursing a mother around that. My mother, when she passed away, she was around 69, and between now the age of 63 to 69, it was a challenge. Actually, he passed on a day like today, 4 years ago. So I know it is quite a challenge. It's quite a challenge. So we need to protect our elderly, and we need to be magnanimous. This one, I've been asked, I'm not being sustainable, but as a county government, we really need to be magnanimous and make sure that we reserve some funds to make sure these elderly are taken care of, plus any other vulnerable groups. Not only the 65, that act, really, we have other groups of people who are vulnerable, and we need to protect them. So, I say we just need to make a decision. And make sure that we set aside some funds that are going to be used to take care of our vulnerable population. So it's not only the 65 and above, but we have other categories who need people living with disabilities be taken care of. And finally, I'm asking empathy. I'll put it at 15.8 million Kenya shillings.
The last set of questions, we will take them from
Congratulations on your election. Allow me from some senior staff of the county health department own private clinics, pharmacies, posing conflict of interest and poor service delivery. How will you deal with this issue conclusively? Question number 2. Supply of drugs and non-funds has been a big issue in our county. From procurement to debt to central drugstore in Wandani, etc. How would you resolve this issue that causes the drugs shortage? Question number 3. Please explain to the committee the strict issues of referrals and ambulance services in our county, and how you plan to handle this should you become the CECM. Question number 4. There has been persistent strike and industrial action by medics and other staffs in the health department. What are your thorny issues and how do you resolve them, knowing that Mwananchi is suffering a lot? Question number 5, the final one. Talk about universal health coverage, achievables in this county, and what does it take to make it a reality? Thank you.
Through the chair, thank you for the 5 questions. On to question number 1 on private clinics. Let me admit that I'm not privy, so what I'll do, if this committee approves my appointment, that will go to the assembly to ensure that we do an investigation to ascertain whether it is true our healthcare workers are running private clinics, pharmacies, maybe even nursing homes, because our doctors are paid what we call non-practicing allowance. So if they are in employment, then they are not supposed to do this other business. So, as I put it through the chair, it's a conflict of interest, which is against integrity, Ethics and Integrity Act. So that one needs to be stopped if any of these officers will be found to be culpable. Number 2, you asked a question on essential medicines and medical supplies. Yeah, shortages. Yes, and the issue of having a central, maybe you call it this central drugstore here in Bundani. Yes, let me start by saying that these shortages and the frequent shortages are being caused by the poor systems we put as a county. The previous administration got it all wrong. Let me put it that bluntly, because I'm a citizen of this county and I've also suffered. And even though I live in Nairobi, I have relatives, and when my relative suffers here, similar people, to my best. So I have also suffered because of these bad systems. Number 1, the source of these essential medicines and medical supplies has been one of the areas where we are getting it wrong. The Act puts it very clear in Article 66, 1A, that as a county, our first show for these medical supplies should be chemist. But understand right now, during the former regime, that was not an issue. We get some of these medical supplies from various sources, some of them which are not ascertained. So we are not sure of the safety and the quality of even these commodities that we've been using as a county. So, as a corrective measure, I'll have to make sure that we go back to the old system where we are getting most of our commodities from KEMSA, unless the fill rate is below 100%. But if we are able to get 100 fill rate, I don't see the reason why we should run away from KEMSA. KEMSA has advantages. We have time to elaborate the advantages that we get if we make KEMSA our first call shop. Very, very quickly. KEMSA has very good distribution channels. Do not order, the commodities are dropped at the doorstep of the facility. You don't even need to have what we are calling the central store here, because what I am told, when these commodities are brought up here, they are dropped here, and then the county has to incur some extra expenses. They have to move these trucks from here to either maybe Nganginika or Gura, the center, or Vukini. See, when you do your order from KEMSA, the price of an item is factored in the distribution. So you don't have to incur any extra cost. Everything is embedded in the cost of the commodities. That is all advantage. The other one, KEMSA is normally cheaper because it's a government agency, and here we're doing business, it's government to government. They're cheaper. The other thing to support quality, KEMSA has got quality laboratories. Everything they import or anything they put in their stores, if they get it in their store, it has to go through quality checks. So that is what the source we are getting is to support them. And again, KEMSA is very flexible. Between 2013 and 2017, we had a memorandum of understanding with KEMSA, and they gave us a credit period of 90 days. So we procure, you get your free of charge your commodities, and you pay after 3 months. It's the whole quarter. So as a county, you have to organize yourselves. If you run out of resources, you have gotten, your people will be enjoying the drugs, or they'll be enjoying services because commodities are there, non-funds are there, and to run smoothly. So that source, we have to look at it and go back. I'm told, I've already done my search, I'm told the only problem that we had to revert to these local suppliers is because we have a debt of around 87 million only. That's what is making us run away from KEMSA. And I'm told it's a matter of talking to those people. We agree on a payment plan. We don't have to pay the 87 million per for us to go back to KEMSA. We only need to develop some good relationships, so that, we commit ourselves that yes, we are supplying you, but after maybe 2 months, give us a check of this much. And they're telling us it's not a must that we pay the 7 million at one call. So that will be one of my first assignment. Fortunately, when I was nominated, I got a call from the chair. Fortunately, that chair comes from DAWIDA, Madam Shawani. She gave me a call and she told me, once go through the vetting process and blah blah blah, just bring your team, we do negotiation, we talk, we agree, and we open the account for the DAWIDA account. The other thing is about the system that we use to order food drugs. Our facilities nowadays are being forced to receive, drugs or non-farm which they did not order for. A system we call push system. And we dropped that push system in the year 2005 as a country. Okay? We moved to pull system. And in a pull system, this is where facilities, the users, do their orders and bring them up to the central. It's not the central that do the orders and push them to the periphery. So that one we need to also change, so that each facility does its orders up by its now requirements according to the disease patterns, the disease regime, so that we don't take commodities. Let's say, for example, if we brought anti-malaria, a lot of malaria to Bundani Health Center. Here, the burden of malaria is not as much as maybe Taveta. We don't need a lot of maybe anti-malarials here. because now the disease pattern and the disease here in Bungani is quite different from what we have in maybe Kitogo dispensary in Bogoni 1. Then the other thing, the next question.
Your time is getting up, so
you first then?
We'll give you more time, like 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Question number 3, the referral system. Yes, referral, we cannot do away with it because we cannot say we have all the levels of care. When you get a problem, patient needs to be moved to the next level of care, you have to refer. And referral is a health management intervention. You can't leave a patient to be there in one level and say, oh, you can't move to the next level. So, one of the key support systems is the ambulance when we are doing our referrals. And by definition, an ambulance is a moving ward. It's not a patient carrier vehicle. Or it's not a vehicle that can be used to do other utility, works. Is supposed to refer patients or carry patients, and we will continue receiving a continuum of healthcare. Now, look at some of the records that are told. Currently, we have 13 ambulances, but out of these 13, it's only 7 which are operational. And I don't think 7 in Abuja we used to have referral regions. We are not able to have ambulances for each facility, and sometimes can be uneconomical. If I had time, I would have given the case study. Of Machakos, where they bought a forest of 7 ambulances. That was very uneconomical. So, us as a county, between 2013 and 2017, if I give this example, we zoned this county into referral zones. We had Taveta. We had 2 zones, the one dealing with the Chukim area, and the other one which is dealing with the Bogoni and MKAYA. And we put 2 ambulances in Taveta to do that work, plus to be another for further referrals from the main hospital to either Moi or to Mombasa or to KCMC in Moshi, Tanzania. Then here we had the Besu and the Bundani area, Mwatate. We had the Bura, Sagaibu, and all these other areas, and then we had the Rongichu and the Rongichini, all the way out to Mwatate. Yes, region. And then Voi, we had 3 regions. The Bololo region, the Maungu Kasigao, and the Sagala. And we had ambulances for those regions. So what would happen in the event we have an issue, it may be Sagala. And since our health facilities, our primary health facilities cannot run and maintain these ambulances, they have been placed in the main hospital. So in case you have a case in Sagala, they do a call and that ambulance rushes to pick the patient, and the patient is supposed to be called to the facility. And give you the reason for that. In the past, we've had ambulances getting lost. Even when the teachers have very lost an ambulance. Because someone will call in a village, they require an ambulance. If the ambulance goes there, it's still the kaja, the driver, and still the ambulance. So we decided if there's a patient in Veruga, was an issue, that patient should be taken to Makadeni or Veruga, the center where you'll be picked and be escorted by a nurse to the next level of care. The assessment is done, and he or she is escorted to the next level of care. So these ambulances, these 6 need to be rehabilitated, and I'm glad about that there is a supplementary budget which has been proposed. There is a budget of 24 million to procure new ambulances. And this time, you have to get it right, you have to buy, procure, cruiser, or advanced life support ambulance. I think with the 24, we'll be able to get 2 new ambulances that we're going to put in the fleet to beef up our referral system in the county. Strikes by health workers. What are the reasons for strikes? Industrial unrest. One of them is lack of promotions or delay promotions. What we do, we have to look at those. I have to go back to, again, a system issue. We used to have what we used to call at the county, at the level of CECM, that is County Health Management Team. We used to have a committee that would look at the promotions of all the people within the department. Yeah, we used to call it the Departmental Health Advisory, Human Resource Advisory Committee, which will look at all those people who are due for promotion, delayed promotions, and make sure that these cases are channeled to HIRA, the County Human Resource Advisory Committee, and from there they are connected to the County Public Service Board for promotion. So that exercise has to begin as early as possible so that we don't have people stagnating, and those genuine cases, especially those who are in what we call the common cadre, people are from the group H to maybe A, after 3 years they're supposed to be in, unless there is a reason. Yeah? Then the other reason is redesignations. In health, people keep on changing designations. Somebody may have trained as an enrolled community nurse. That is a certificate level. This person will go back and do a course in and become a Kenya registered nurse. So somebody who has self-developed himself or herself, it will be unfair for that person to continue in the job. So we need to look into that again and promote. The other thing is salary delays. I'm happy His Excellency the Governor has rectified that issue, so that will be a problem of the past. I think the other and last one is working conditions, the environment. Yes, lack of PPEs and important protective gear within the health sector. Those ones we have to look into it, so that as we do our procurement for EMS, that is essential medical medicines and medical supplies, each facility will be told to do an order of its PPEs, so that this will improve health workers, so that they are well motivated, have a well motivated workforce, and they will not have as perennial strikes we had in the past. And finally, universal health coverage, UHC. UHC is about making sure every person in the population is getting access to quality health care. Now, in the past, people have mistaken this to me, that's just removing the cost barrier. Okay, that should be one. To remove the cost barrier, then there will be access. But in the absence of the service itself, then that beats the purpose of the program. So number one, for me, I have to make sure these services are available. I remember when my mom was still alive, she had an HF card, but there were no services at times. So you have your HF card, but no services. So first thing, can we make these services available, and how to make them available is making sure all those pillars I talked about are well strengthened, they are working, none of them is weak, because if one becomes weak, service delivery is affected. So we must make sure, number one, ensure that the services are available, then from there we can go ahead now to try to remove now the cost barrier. That's when maybe we can start talking of the NHF business, which to me can be costly, but it's worth if the county is able now to give some of this, support some of our, especially indigents, to have this card, then it will be good for our population. So I think a brief share, I've done the justice to the questions.
Thank you. We will take 2 more questions. I see Mheshimiwa Malela.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am Joseph Kennedy, MCA Mutati. I have 2 questions. First, I congratulate you for your nomination. CHVs assist many people in our community on different issues, and they are not recognized. What plans do you have for them, and give us timelines for our community health volunteers? Number 2, do you think the dam site in Landi is located at the right place according to Public Health Act? And if not, what plans do you have when you get appointed in this ministry? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Through the chair, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, for those 2 questions. CHVs, yes, very key to our community health strategy. Without them, we may not achieve much in terms of our health, community health strategy. The people, in some places they call Marakatani or Nyanjani. Very key. I recognize the work they do. Now, in the past, and I think I'll continue with those, what we've been doing. One thing, we've been training them and giving them certificates to recognize them. The other thing, we've been giving them badges to be recognized in the community, and people have been trained and certified to do their work. And the other thing is giving them stipends. Yeah, you see, this work is not, it's a voluntary work. It's not remunerative. So what we do is to give them something small that can help them maybe use a border, or maybe if they're using some phones to reach their clients, they can buy some airtime. So it's just something small to motivate them. Previously, what we used to do is to work with government partners. We could chip in and give this stipend. We worked with the program in India. At the time we also worked with the Afia Kwana. So I think I'll move in the same direction. Make sure that we work with these partners. Because what I've seen in the budget, we can allocate around 6 million. And we have around 1,420 CHVs in this county. A quick calculation will tell you we need over 32 million to give these stipends every per month. So this financial year, through the chair, I cannot promise you from going to get you that one immediately. But by as I work and go back to my own contacts and make sure that get these partners on board who can chip in this program. Dam site. It's an ISO, I agree with you. And on the side of public health, is that time we've been sharing that river Voi has already been contaminated. When we had an issue of diarrhea, sometimes around from Ogodi all the way to Melewa and Gimba, we were thinking this was being caused by, in terms of action. Of course, investigations were done, samples were taken. Okay, fortunately it was in the coast. We discovered the coast is different, but the way it is, it's wrongly located. So what I'll do, I'll liaise with my colleague in the environmental side, who is in charge of that dam site, and see how it can be relocated to another place if land will be available. But where it is, it's wrongly located. Thank you.
Let me give this opportunity to Mr. Kimuyu. He has been raising his hand all along.
Thank you, Jim. I am Daniel Kimuyu, MCA of our ward, sub-county. I have 3 questions for you on MKAYA. One is on Gerson. First question is and I'm just posing the question to you. There is existing unit, unit at Moi Hospital was not, sorry. So, yeah, there is an existing renal unit at Moi Hospital, was not constructed yet. Funds are being set aside for construction. Instead, an old maternity building was converted where the construction funds go. Because I remember the CEC 2013 to 2017. So it was good also to get to know about that. Also I have another question for that. I want to get to you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, another question is about Kimumbi dispensary and Bamako dispensary were constructed, commissioned during your time. Up to now, nothing has been paid to the constructor. Why did you refuse to facilitate payments to that particular constructor till you exist? Another question, Mapoliti dispensary was constructed, in fact this is a dispensary in my area, was constructed on a water way on top of black cotton soil, which was against advice and caution from local public health personnel at the time. Now over 3 million has been spent to salvage the sinking, cracked building, and more repairs are still needed. What did you allow shoddy and professional works be done and resources be wasted under your watch, your CEC? Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Through the Chair, thank you, Honorable Daniel Kinim, MCM Howard. Yes, Moi County Referral Hospital Regional Unit, which we did in partnership with the national government and the famous, some people call it famous, but we call it famous MES program, that is a Managed Equipment Services program. And in this MES program, which was very good by national government, and counties were asked to avail space for the equipment. So when we are signing the contract with the national government, one of the areas where we were supposed to be supported was in the renal services. And we were asked to avail that role within the shortest possible time. Yes, our part as the county was to renovate and convert whatever room is available into a site where this equipment could be installed. So the funds you're talking about, which are contained in the budget, I can't remember the exact budget, were used to convert that room, which previously used to be the smaller maternity, the 12-bed capacity maternity I referred earlier. So that room had a lot to be done. There is water to be provided. There is a water treatment plant to be provided. And general, public works were to be done, partition to give room to the other room. Through the chair, machine have been to Moi and to see where the renal unit is. If you look at that building, it's not the way it is. It was before all those conversions. So the money you're talking was utilized to do all those changes so that we could put the building into the requirements that were required by the project manager. Yeah, so the other question is on Kirumbi and Bamako. Yes, indeed, we did Kirumbi, which is on your way to Kajire dispensary. It was need for those people of, they call it Wanjawande, yeah, to have services closer to them, and also did Bamako at the same time, and all these two are in Sagala Ward. Now, these are some of the projects we did towards the end, you know. So, actually, these are the projects which His Excellency, the first governor, opened and then we went home. Now, paying bills are supposed to be the government. And government here in India, government is a main concern. Whether it's under this administration or previous administration, the Taveta County government will remain being the Taveta County government. The blame can never be put on an administration. It is on the burden is on the county government. So whether we are there or not there, this contractor has to be, you know, the facilities are there. They are operational, they are working, we are seeing, you know, and their works have been, if they are certified, they have payment certificates. I believe these people should have been paid by the administration which replaced us. So, me, I left before the payments were done, but that did not mean that this contractor should not be paid. So, and it's common across, I've looked at the main projects are still, you know, they're continuing. Those projects, they're supposed to, whoever did the project, if they genuinely, their works were certified by public works and it's genuine, they're supposed to have been paid. So Bamako and Kirumbi, the blame should not be put on an administration. It has to be squarely on the government. And the government is a going concern. So whether MKAYA was there or whichever CEC was there, it does not matter who is in office. What is important is the government is in.
Yes,
great. Number 3, minority. Wow. And I said, including minority. Remember when 2013 we began, and when I came on the board, Maho is one of those wards which did not have a single health facility. So during the first CAGP, the community of Maho ward identified 2 sites. Themselves, together with the late MCA, may God preserve his soul in eternal peace. We went around the community. They identified 2 sites. There was the California site and the Metropolitan site. And in this CDP, they agreed we need to put a facility in one of those sites. Me, coming from Bundani Mbale Ward, I didn't know. If you go there during the dry season, you cannot know that is a water. You know Taveta plus and many other dry places. This seasonal rivers, you won't know this is a seasonal river there. So the site was identified, as we came very quickly, through the Ward Development Fund, Mheshimiwa allocated some money there, I remember it's around 9 million, and we began the works. Very quickly put up the facility to make sure that the people of Maho enjoys health facilities, and we bring close health facilities to the people of Maho. Little did we know, and and I expected the project managers, through the chair, Mheshimiwa, let me say this, that the Department of Health do not manage county projects. We are only a client. We get the services from public work. So I expected the lack of works was put by the Department of Public Works to have advised. Yeah? So it's not me, it's the managers of the project. Me, I was only a client. And they used to have meetings in the presence of the clerk of works. This is the clerk of Oxford have advised that these works are not good. But anyway, the problem was the soil. Because what they did, nobody bothered about the traffic factors of that area. So the project was conceived, implemented, and after some time, so we started seeing the graph because the soils are black and black soil. I mean, we call it black what? Cotton soil.
Not good, sir.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
Thank you.
So public works, I think, going forward, since we should go into record that public works, as the project managers in this county, they need to be more vigilant so that we get good projects.
Thank you. I think you answered that question. Maybe this time we also give a lady a last one, but ask one question. You're asking very many questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker. Mr. MKAYA, congratulations to your nomination. My question is, 2 years ago, we received donations of ambulances from, I think, a company called Monroe or something. Unfortunately, they are left driven and they are packed at Moi Hospital. If given a chance, what measures will you put so that they can be of use? Thank you.
Through the chair, me, I want to touch those things because, you know, sometimes the bankers say, never throw good money after bad money. First of all, I'm told the spare parts to those ambulances, they're very scarce. Sorry. The spare parts for those ambulances are not really available in Kenya. You know, it's a donation come, I don't know, from Canada, I don't know exactly why. And we have a lot of issues. That's an ambulance, we cannot even use it in even rolling tube, for example. So why should we bother with, you know, something that's going to give us problem and spend more money, better focus ahead, and that's what I say already. The department has earmarked in this financial year continue procuring new ambulances. We have a budget of about 24 million that we can use now to procure new ambulances. We better not throw good money after bad money. Thank you.
Yeah. Monsieur Nominee. One question. Thank you, Chairman. I'm Nominee from Charawadi. My question is, Wangoni Dispensary was an old Bible study school, which was converted to a dispensary using voice CDF money. Where did the sum of over 2 million set aside for the project by the county go? Thank you.
Through the chair, may I get the gist of that question because it's like, it's incomplete sort of. I'm sorry. Can Mheshimiwa repeat the question?
Mheshimiwa, repeat your question. Okay. 2013 to 2017, you were the CECM for Earth. Wangoni Dispensary was an old Bible school, which was converted to a dispensary using voice CDF money. Okay, let me go to another question. That one seems to be incomplete. Shimari Dispensary was completed recently in early 2022. Why was it not finished during your term? That was 5 years. Yet money had been budgeted for the project. And why was it constructed by more than one contractor?
Through the chair, yes. Done. Could answer? Okay. What I get, maybe that issue of Bongoni, I want to shed light. Yeah, because I think I know the story about Bongoni. Yes, Bongoni, as Mheshimiwa could fit right, Chair, Bongoni dispensary, we did it in collaboration with the VOI, CDF, National CDF. The CDF rehabilitated the main OPD block, that is the outpatient block apartment, and us, we allocated 2 million, very right, yeah, for us to renovate the staff house, yeah, and we'd appreciate if you put a health worker in Bongoni. You know that place, there are no houses, so we needed a house nearby. Unfortunately, within that compound, that house was donated by that mission. There was an old house which we needed to rehabilitate it and put it into good use. And using that money again, we had to do an incinerator. Remember, I have facility. It has to have an incinerator to run the medical or to handle the medical refuse or the medical waste. And we also had to do a placenta pit. So the money we are talking about never went into the rehabilitation. And then also, we had to do a bit of procurement of some of the essential equipment for the facility to be operationalized. So the 2 million went, into doing those things for us to operationalize the facility. So the 2 million through the chair, mentioning, went into doing those work so that we could give services to the people of Bongoni. Those who have worked in Bongoni, Alan Mjomba Secondary School, and I know if you become sick there, in those days, getting down to Gazi or coming down to, it's a problem. So we had to do a facility there to help the people of Bongoni, and CDF generously partnered with us, and we gave the people of Bongoni some health services. She got dispensary. The story is long, but in short, what happened, the first contractor was given the work. Did, and at some point, he got some challenges because of the community around. Sometimes the community can become a nuisance. If you use the word, for lack of a better word. There was too much demands, and this contractor abandoned the site. So we had to wait, time went, and we reached a point where we had to do what? To follow the procedure of now changing the contractor. So we did change the contractor, and we gave the work to another contractor. The same story repeated itself. So we changed that. So by the time we were even leaving office, we were in the third contractor. So that's the story to delay Shigaro dispensary. And actually that dispenser for me was very dear, because Simina took up around. But unfortunately, those are the story around this dispensary. And allocation was one thing. We only see money in the budget, that's what mean the money was spent. What we need to be looking at, the certificates and our payment is done. That I think should be more of a concern than just looking at because I remember the first allocation from the World Development Fund was around 8 million, and I don't think it was all used to pay the first contract. The same contract was never paid. Yeah.
I think I'm seeing members still want to ask questions. It's late. I'll let you two, but only one can ask one question. Yes. Yes, Nominee or Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I'll limit it to one question. I have three, but I'll limit it to one question. Congratulations, MKAYA. And I feel proud that I'm the MCA for Daniel. Anyway, the question is on access to healthcare. Limited access to our people has led to machinery of herbal sectors and herbal medicine services. Plus, even in some areas, low, I can say, low quality private hospitals, and they are serving quite a number of people. So my question is, if you become the CECM health, what plans do you have around the alternative medicine, and including any budgetary allocations if you have other plans, and the maturing small private dispensaries, like you find one in a place called Wagaka, which is serving quite a number of people, but it's not a government hospital, yet it is not well, it's a private one, and it's not very well furnished and maintained, maybe to need some, because it's serving our communities. Do you have any plans for those institutions? And if you have, maybe you can share. Thank you.
Oh, Chair, may I proceed? Answer?
Or maybe you take the second question.
Okay, the two, yeah, then they do them together.
Yeah, Mheshimiwa Alisa,
Yes.
your question will be the last one. Let it take.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank Mr. MKAYA for your nomination. Referring back to the service during the first assembly, I do remember this house was summoned you to come and support your departmental budgetary allocations. You did expose a whopping 20 million that the some treasury officials had sneaked into your budget of the department without your knowledge. That was an indication of a public officer with complete integrity. Now, Mr. MKAYA, could you be in a position to confirm to this house whether or not you still have that kind of integrity? And that being the case, what plans do you have to fight and eradicate cartels in our hospitals and drug procurement process and stores? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Chair. Mr. Chair, let me begin by addressing the issue raised by my home MCA, Honorable Jimmy Mwamidi. Yes, you've mentioned the alternative medicine, what we call ethnomedicine. Ethnomedicine is recognized in Kenya, because in social medical sciences we say, before the coming of the Mzungu with his alternate evidence, conventional medicine, there was medicine in Africa. And for that reason, there is a national policy which guides ethnomedicine. And since I've gone through our County Health Services Act, I've not seen any area where it's mentioned, so we'll be guided by the national policy, because the Constitution says where there is no local law or county law, we go by the national law. Now, according to the national law, anybody who is practicing what we commonly call herbal medicine, that medicine has to be taken to Cambridge. So that whatever that person, that practitioner is purporting, to be curing, can be, the research can be done on it and ascertained. But the toxic principle in that how indeed it is going to cure the disease the person is purporting to cure. Otherwise, at this level, maybe we could educate maybe these practitioners who are practicing ethnomedicine to come to us so that we can refer them and whatever products they have to Cambridge. There's a whole department in Cambridge which does that. Yeah, you can test and tell us, yes, this one is certified. So what we will do in our BE Act, County Act, Health Act, there's a provision for an inspectorate. So once I take this office, if I'm approved by this committee, I will instruct the inspectorate go around to cut down on all such practices, including even what one of our Mheshimiwa said, people are running clinics to, make sure such things like the one you mentioned in Wanganga that are meeting the required standards and practice medicine in those supported health facilities. So the inspectorate is there, it's just a matter of operationalizing it. Yes. Then, Mheshimiwa Nisa, through the chair, yes indeed, there's an exposé that we did, and that's not the first time I'm doing that. From the time I told you, I almost died in Bucha. I don't want to say if I'm doing for the right thing, let it be. Let me go into details. I still want that virtue. I promise you, if this committee will validate the nomination, I will not change. I'll be the same guy who was there when he was a junior HAO, the guy who was there as a senior HAO, and the guy who was there as the first round CEC will be the same. I promise not to change. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I promise that will be the last question, but the Chairman Health cannot go without saying anything.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations on MKAYA. I have one question. In health department, we have got unions. How will you manage demands of unions against quality health care? Thank you.
Chair, from the knowledge I have in health, or what we call human resource for health management, trade unions are not supposed to be treated as enemies to management. Trade unions have a role to play, and that's why we have a Trade Unions Act which regulates their actions. So mine, as the CC, is to cultivate a conducive relationship with these people, because these are the people. If you use them well, they can help you in the management. Only that one has to be very careful, because if one is not careful, unions can hold one hostage. So I'll be very carefully that I deal with them in a manner that is going not to jeopardize my work. So, I appreciate, because sometimes there are people even few, insights on how to handle some of the matters. So I have to work with them. I have no intention to curtail the activities. I've had in the past things were done on them, but if you allow them as per law, yes, give them space, and you also tell them to give you your space. I'm sure we'll have a good working relationship with them, and we shall improve human resource management, and our health workers will be motivated, and work productivity will be high in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. I think everybody has asked questions. I just want to remind you that I really appreciated what you did. I remember when we were supposed to put up the renal unit, the person who was supposed to put that renal unit came to void, and he was returned. He was told, go back, we are not interested, those things are political, and we don't want them. If you can remember. And when he called me, because I happened to have been a friend, I called the then county secretary, and I asked him, why do you refuse the renal unit? I remember I called you. You hurriedly convened a meeting same day, and you called this fellow back, but he had already left. So I commend you, because if it were not for you and the county secretary, today we would not be here. I wanted to say it last because I didn't want to influence then They didn't want them to influence the members. So I hope you're going to keep up. If you are